We are about to go live on Facebook, and then we're also going to be chatting with friends as soon as it shows up on Instagram. And as usual, we are hanging in limbo waiting for things to cooperate. I don't know why there's such a lag when I am doing things, but okay, but we're live here now too, so that's awesome. We are live, I do believe, everywhere. So yay. Okay, we're good to go. I'm just going to move my screen over because we're double screaming it. And pretty soon, hopefully, we will have some bodies showing up. And I always know everything's working when people start to say, hi, I'm coming in from, and we get us coming from all over. It's just now 5 o'clock. So hopefully somebody's going to show up and I've done this right. But it looks like we're moving. Here we go. And here is some of the gang. I see them coming in. Heather Ann, hi, Heather. Nancy is coming from Wisconsin. Carolyn's coming in from Illinois. I'm so glad you guys could join us today. I am here with the wonderful Mona Newbauer of Sweet Mona's Chocolates. Oh, and Corinne is coming from Ontario. Hey, everybody. I know we're going to have so much talking about chocolate. Oh, who doesn't love their vitamin C, right? And Lisa's coming from South Carolina. Kathy's come in from North Idaho. Amanda's here from Massachusetts. Hey, you guys, I'm so glad you could join us. And I see, oh, good. I see some of our, Alicia's Book Sanctuary is here. That's cool. And I see Carolyn's here and my friend Mary Harms on the Insta account. And guys, hoping everything's going to work well. I did my test run, so hopefully we won't freeze up on Insta. But this is going to be great fun talking with Mona Newbauer of Mona's Chocolates in Whidbey Island, Washington. And Mona, it's going to be so much fun. I'm trying to remember when it was years ago that I met you when my book Angel Name was out and you let me do a book signing in the chocolate shop. I still remember that. It was so much fun.
Yeah, that was so much fun. That was so much fun. I don't even know how you found me. And it was really at the beginning. It was at the beginning of, Sweet Mona's. It wasn't Sweet Mona's at the time. It was actually called Angel One Angel Place.
Oh,
because
it
was One Angel Place. Yeah. And I did that because I thought, in my infinite wisdom that I could be first in the phone book because
smart.
But I wasn't smart. Because I spelled it one O and E, so it was under O and E.
So much for that. Well, Sweet is a little ways down now, but you're such an established business. You have been in business for how long now?
Well, I actually started the business in 2003. It was, but I didn't open an actual retail store until 2006.
But still, oh my gosh, so but 2003, so 20 years, a little over 20 years you've been doing this. So you were a mere child when you started, right?
Oh yeah, we'll go with that. Thanks, Sheila.
That's pretty amazing.
Mere child.
Oh, mere child. Oh, we've got some more who've come in. Katrina's joined us from Indiana. Hi, Pam is here from Gatlinburg. Susan has made it from Pittsburgh. Oh, guys, I'm so happy you're joining us today. It's so much fun. It's really fun to talk to women who have succeeded in starting their own businesses. And I want to know, how did you get into this? So did you start making chocolate as a hobby, or how did you end up deciding to be a chocolatier?
Well, that's a crazy story. I actually had no idea that I was going to be a chocolatier. I moved to Whidbey Island, and Whidbey Island is like the place where you can do anything. And it was really just one night, my husband Tony and I were talking about chocolate. And I grew up in Ohio. Big chocolate company there is Esther Price. And we were just talking about how, there really wasn't anything like that here. And my son, Philip, was living with us at the time and working at the bakery here in Langley. He got somewhere in his mind that I wanted to make chocolate. And so he ran to the bakery and he said,
oh my gosh.
He's like, Maria, that was the owner of the bakery. Maria, my mom wants to make truffles for the bakery. And one thing about Whidbey Island and small communities is they want to support each other. And so Maria says, sure, that would be great. Tell your mom she can do that. And he came home, and you know how kids are. They're all excited and think, oh, my gosh, this is going to be amazing. And he says, Mom, Maria says you can make chocolates for the bakery. And I was like a deer in headlights. I was like, what do you mean? I don't really know how to make chocolates. What did you say? And he says, oh, yeah. She said you could do it. You could make chocolates for the bakery. And I've always been really open to like new ideas and things that kind of out of my comfort zone. And so, I thought about it for a minute or two. And I
Wow.
said, okay, all right, let's do that. At the time, I was working full time in Seattle. So I didn't really know how I was going to do it, but I thought, okay, let's try it.
Wow.
And basically, I got online looking for kind of recipes for truffles, and Tony got online looking for distributors or looking for chocolate for us to buy so we could make the confections.
Wow.
And he even called Venezuela. So
Venezuela?
yeah,
Oh my
he called
gosh.
Venezuela.
Well, you
And
have Venezuela chocolate, I see on your website. So,
yeah, our milk chocolate comes from Venezuela. So
ah,
they turned us on to a distributor here in the Seattle area, and we made our first chocolate purchase. And it was really, it's really kind of scary to start a business on your own, and I didn't really know if I'd like it or not. I was like, nothing ever keeps my attention for too long. So, but I thought, well, I'll give it a whirl. I've always felt like, I can always walk into the room. I don't have to live there and I don't have to stay there, but I can walk in and see how I like it. So the first weekend, I made chocolates. It was a long weekend, and I did it out of my home kitchen. It
wow.
took me, it took me all, we'll say 4 days to make like 60 truffles. And I'm like, I am going to have to charge $20 a piece for these babies because
Oh
there's
my
no
gosh.
way I can make a living at this. However, I thought to myself, okay, I can still take them to the bakery. And I was, if you were right here next to me, you'd see me. I kind of do this in the story. Do 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 do. I'm gonna take the truffles to the bakery,
Oh
and
my
I
gosh.
did. And Maria was a pretty smart woman. She didn't sell the truffles. She basically, they had a lunch little cafe thing, and they gave away a truffle with their lunch as like a little bite of dessert,
Oh,
which
I
was
love
very
it.
sweet and very sweet. And then after a few weeks, one of the ladies in the village, it was Carolyn. She was with Island Gourmet and Gifts. She said, I really like those chocolates. You think we could sell those in the store? And I'm like, well, heck, I can buy a box. Anybody can buy a box and put something in a box. And so I did that. And then Carolyn, too, smart businesswoman, and she loved our chocolate. So here I'm going to tell you something scary. So don't be afraid.
I'm
Don't
already
be
excited.
afraid. So she used to eat one of the dark chocolates every day.
Wow.
Now, remember, I really didn't know what I was doing. I had no idea what I was doing. I was just, feeling my way through the dark. And one day she called me and she said, Mona, there's mold in the truffle.
Oh no.
And
Oh
that's
my
basically what
gosh.
I did. Oh no, I can't believe it. There's mold in the truffle. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do?
Oh
And I
yeah.
decided right then and there that, okay, this is a food product. I can't mess with people's, health. I got to figure it out. So basically, at that point, I said, okay, we got to go at this full throttle if I'm going to do it. Um, I started looking for information online about shelf stabilization. I called chocolatiers all over the country, and I always got the same response. I'm sorry, we can't help you. That information is proprietary.
Great.
Yeah, so I'm like, I don't want your recipe. I just want to know, how do I get the truffles tested, yada, yada, yada. Um, and finally, two things happened. One, I figured out on my own, and this is at the beginning, remember, if I put alcohol in that truffle, that baby will last for years.
I love it. Oh, that's so smart.
So in the beginning, every truffle I made had alcohol. I even had a license from the state of Washington to buy grain alcohol for them.
Wow.
Now that's kind of
Wow.
crazy. We don't do that anymore. But at the time, that's what I figured out, and that's how I did it. And I
That
also
is
used,
so
yeah,
impressive. You were very, I don't know, ingenious with going, okay, I got to find a way
I
to
don't,
make sure I don't poison anybody. So here's what I'm going to do. That was really smart, actually.
so I don't know if it was smart, but it got me through. And
Wow.
then I thought the second thing that I thought is, I really need to learn what I'm doing. I need to figure it out. So I started looking online for classes or for information, and I found this school in Vancouver, BC, called Ecole Chocolat, the School of Chocolate, and I could do it online.
Oh,
It
that's so
was
cool.
it was just a certificate program, but I thought this will get me in the door, and I did. So while I was, creating a few chocolates here and there, bringing them to the bakery, bringing them to Island Gourmet and Gifts, I started taking this class, and still I got really no information on the on shelf stabilization. But during the class, somewhere somehow I ran into the Washington State Extension Service, and they, at the time, I don't know if they still do it, they would actually, for like $25, they would test your product for shelf stability. And so I sent, my truffles, a couple of my truffles, off to Washington State Extension Service, and they came back with well, this is how long that this truffle will last.
Wow.
And so I kind of started that way. And also, once I went to school, it also opened the doors to other things like, whenever you want to learn something about anything, you've got to get in with those people who are already doing it. You
Oh,
have
that
to
makes
find a way in.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
so, yeah, so the way in for most things is through professional organizations. So I got into the Retail Confectioners International. I got into the fine chocolate industry. And this way, it was like, okay, now I'm with the team. I'm with
Mm.
people who are doing things that I want to be doing. They open up to you, they tell you the trade secrets, they give you information on where to go for help. It really was a game changer.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
really a
great
game
advice.
changer.
I love that. So if you are the kind of the bottom line message, if you're wanting to learn and grow your business, it really is important to join an organization or get involved with the people who know what they're doing. So don't,
Exactly.
yeah, I mean, you jumped in with both feet because what the heck, but then you realize, okay, now I really have to get a little more savvy and I'm going to learn as I go and pick people's brains. And I think that was really smart of you,
Yeah.
actually. Wow.
Well, when you're drowning, you'll do just about anything.
Yeah, help, help. By the way, we've got a lot of people who join us on Insta. I see that Kelly is here and who else? Sharon and Suzanne are here, and a lot of our gang, our Facebook gang. So, hi to all of you who've just joined us, talking with Mona Newbauer of Sweet Mona's Chocolates in Whidbey Island, Washington. So, a big hi to Barbara and Cindy. Marianne is here from Arizona. I see Melody's here from New York. Tanya's made it from Jackson. And who else have we got? Lori is here, Debbie Tyler, and Ann Kleinsmith. So a lot of our gang, thanks you guys for showing. And Becky Farney has just arrived, Linda Sue Brown. So guys, I'm so glad you're joining us here to hear about the art of making chocolate. And if somebody wants to try and make chocolate at home, this isn't in our scripted questions that I was going to ask you, but what's a good way to start? Do you just like go online and look for a recipe and give it a try? The only thing I've ever made, I tried to make, they were going to be so good. They were these kind of truffle things with, I don't know if they had lavender, I don't remember, but they were a disaster. And I wound up turning them to fudge. They made really good fudge.
Well,
So I
it's
mean,
good.
I guess you can always find a way to rescue what you've done. But if
That's it,
somebody's just
exactly.
getting started, just like find something online and give it a try.
Well, there's, when I made my first batch of truffles and I picked up my supplies, because I didn't have really a location, I met this distributor, and I met this distributor on the side of the road, and and at the time, he popped his trunk, and I popped out my money, and we exchanged chocolate for money, and at the same time,
Huh.
I said to him, I don't know, how do I make truffles? And the first thing I ever did was 1 part cream and 1 part chocolate. And cream is like a
Yum.
heavy whipping cream.
Oh,
Now,
yum.
obviously, those don't last a long time. But if you're making, if you're making chocolate for your friends, things like that, you can, especially dark chocolate will work mostly with the 1 part cream, 1 part chocolate, because it'll make it a little stiffer. You can roll it with, you can use like a butter baller and scoop it out. You can roll it in, cocoa powder. Depending on what kind of chocolate you use will depend on what the underlying flavor profile is, and then if you decide that you want to do milk or white chocolate, you just decrease that heavy cream until you get to something, consistency that you can work with. Um, and it's really a lot of fun. Really a lot of fun, easy to do. And it's good for, they don't last very long. You got to keep them, if you're going to try to make them ahead, you got to keep them refrigerated. But that is your basic, 1-to-1 recipe.
Well,
And then
so
for
see, if I
me,
was going to make them, they wouldn't last very long because I'd eat them all.
well, that's right. You got to eat them all. And then, if you aren't adverse to alcohol, that's the thing to do. Add alcohol. That's a good way to flavor it with, orange and, Chardonnay, the cherry, those kind of things. Liqueurs all make great additive flavorings. A lot of our stuff we can use fruit purees. You can flavor it with that. You can flavor it with, I use an oil base, because chocolate is oil based. So you want to use an oil base for the most part if you're going to put it within the chocolate itself. But if you're going to put it in the cream, you can use water based things like, like vodka,
Okay. That.
things like that. So but there really is so much you can do with just that basic recipe. And there's all kinds of recipes online. And, most of them are pretty good for the home cook, home baker, home confectioner. And people love that kind of stuff for the holidays. And they love getting gifts, handmade gifts, from their friends. It's an awesome thing to do.
I love that. There you go, guys. You're getting some free chocolate tips here. And some of you have come in. I was trying to keep track of who's come in recently. For all of you who have just joined us, thank you so much for taking time today. It's fun to be able to talk to women who have made a success of having their own businesses. And I'm telling you, Mona really has. I've got to. If my head disappears, I'll tell you why. Okay, I'm back. And this is
Okay.
why Sheila's never going to have a professional broadcast. I dropped my notes. It's like, oh my
Uh-oh.
gosh, I'm going to forget what I want to ask. So I'm back. I'm back with my notes. Anyway, so you've done all this stuff. Do you have a favorite yourself? What's your favorite chocolate that you offer right now?
Well, I think I have to go with what I liked from a child, and that's basically a turtle or caramel.
Uh,
I love caramel, and I could eat it all day long and well into the evening. And another thing about our caramels is we sell our caramel wholesale to Seattle Chocolates, and
oh my
they,
gosh,
yeah,
really? I love Seattle
it's
chocolates.
been about, I don't know, I might get the years wrong, but like 11 years that I've been doing it. And they used to sell
Wow.
everything under the Seattle Chocolate name. It was either J Coco or the Seattle Chocolate name. But just this past year, they've opened the door for me to sell them in my boxes, which,
Oh, I love it.
Seattle Chocolates is another woman-owned business. Very kind, very, giving with, her mentorship and that kind of thing. And she said, yeah, she thought ours were the best caramel ever. As a matter of fact, that was the advertisement marketing they went with when they have it in the Seattle airport store. It was best caramel ever. And so I'd like to think that's true. I know everybody's got their own thing, but I'd like to say ours is the best caramel ever.
Oh, I love
Um,
that.
yeah, but now it's in the airport store and it's in their warehouse store. And they are my biggest wholesale clients. And I'm very thankful and grateful to that other woman-owned business.
Well, that is very cool. So I've got a couple of questions coming in. I've got to make a note here. I hope they don't all disappear. Who just asked me about chocolate covered? Do you do chocolate covered strawberries? I think that'd be really hard because of the shelf life of the strawberries.
Well, we do chocolate covered strawberries typically for Valentine's Day. And they are kind of challenging to do. They have to all be washed ahead of time, and then they all have to be really dry. And then you just dip them the day that we actually give them to everybody. So on Valentine's Day, when I offer that, I always do pre-sales on the
Okay.
strawberries, and I actually make them all in the morning, and then those who wanted to buy, they pick them up during the day and give them to their loved ones, and they are always a great, everybody likes them.
Now I'm
Strawberries
thinking,
are great. And I do, you talk about dipping strawberries. I do a little, I don't know, do I have a bar? I've started doing freeze dried stuff. I don't know if anybody is into freeze dried things, but I don't know if I can show you. Oh, here we go. This is a Ruby Sundae bar, and it has freeze dried strawberries and freeze dried bananas.
oh,
We call it the Sundae bar because it's like, an ice cream sundae. It's got the
oh, I love
chocolate.
it.
Yeah, so it's fun, and they've done really well. But strawberries are a big hit in candy and in chocolate.
Oh, yeah,
Bigger
I
than
can
strawberries,
imagine.
though, is raspberries.
Now, oh, by the way, hi, Kathy. I see you coming in late. Thunderstorm watch. Ooh, that doesn't sound fun to me, but thanks for joining us. Suzanne wanted to know, she wanted to know about the chocolate covered strawberries. Cindy wants to know, do you make a sea salt dark chocolate truffle?
We do not make a truffle with dark sea salt. Only our caramels we have a dark sea salt caramels. I'll show you that one real quick.
Okay, yeah, in fact, Mona's going to give us, this would be a good time, Mona, if you want to give us a little tour of the shop. By the way,
All
you
right.
Mona is very kindly going to donate a package of fudge to some lucky winner. How sweet is she? In fact, I offered to say, no, I'm happy to donate something, but it's got to be in the U.S., guys. I'm not making Mona pay expensive shipping for out of the country. So if you are in the U.S. and you're a winner, and this is a good thing about showing up live because those are the names we draw from for somebody to be a winner. So, winner, winner, chicken dinner. But meanwhile, let's look around the shop.
All right, so I've never done this before, and I understand I kind of have to show you without, turning the phone. And so we'll try to do that. This is the retail area. I'm going to just kind of walk really fast around the retail area. This is the freeze dried candy section. This is our caramel sections. This is all the jars are just jarred candies. Now, we don't make the jarred candies. They're called a panned product, and it's kind of like a big mixer, and we don't have that equipment. So I order these kind of things in. We also serve coffee, so I've got coffee, and we have local jam here. And then in the corners here, we have all the chocolate. I won't spend a lot of time on this because, it is just a retail store. There goes one of my employees running across. And then we have the fudge over here. I'll show you. You can pick your own fudge for this treat. We have Panucci, which is a brown sugar and white chocolate fudge. I don't know. Can you see that? Oh, maybe. There we
Yeah.
go. There we go. And then we have peanut butter fudge. We have chocolate fudge with walnuts. We have plain milk chocolate fudge, and we have plain chocolate fudge. All really good. And then there's our little caramel boxes. I think you could. Oh, there we go. And then we have first aid kits. They're kind of fun. They say break, in case of emergency. I thought that was kind of fun. Oh, can
That
you see
is
that? There we go.
cute.
Sorry, guys, I'm having trouble, and I like to walk and talk. Oh, here's something fun you might like. I don't know. We've got shoes. Can you see the shoes?
Oh, I
Can you
love
see that?
chocolate shoes.
Yeah,
Oh,
chocolate shoes. They're
okay.
a lot
When
of
I come
fun. And
out for
then,
my big girl party, I am buying a chocolate shoe.
of course, Father's Day is coming up, so we have, tools. I think you can see those. We have baseball hats. I don't know. Can you see
Oh,
those? And we
cute.
have ties and golf balls. Looks
Right.
like Christmas in that basket. Anyway, I'm going to do a quick run on the case, and then I'm going to take you back in the back. So there's a spot on this case. All right, well, we're cleaning up, so there's a spot on that case. But anyway, let's see. Am I there? Yeah, here's the
Yeah, yeah.
chocolate case. And then we do a lot of stuff with cocoa butter.
Yum.
Yeah, a lot of color. And then here's the other chocolate. There's my dark pecan clouds. I'm out of milk ones. Those are turtles. And then I have buttercreams up here and jellies up here. We also have gelato in the case and have a
Wow.
little bit of bakery. Fun stuff. I'm going to walk to the back. I'm going to come back on the screen now. I'm going to walk to the back and I'll give you just a quick of the manufacturing area. I mean, we do a lot of stuff, but we don't have a very big manufacturing area. So I'm going to stand at one of the doors and I'm going to give you the bird's eye view down the center. All right, can you see that?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yes, can everybody see that? This is really most of the area that we do the chocolate. We have only a few pieces of equipment. We have a big copper kettle. That was my first piece of equipment that I bought was this copper kettle. I bought it from a
oh, I
company.
love
Yeah, it
that.
was but from a company called Coyote Kitchen here on the island. She made brittle and toffee, and she was gonna give up her, making candy. She wouldn't sell me the name. She says, I kind of want to keep the name, but she gave me her recipes. So that's how we started with those recipes.
That's
Then when we really started going caramel wholeheartedly, we got this depositor. And this is basically a machine that you pour caramel into the hopper. Can you see that? I don't know. Oh, maybe. Where am I at? Oh, there I am. A hopper, and then it will deposit into these things over here, into molds. So we make them square that way.
wow. Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah, so it's a lot of fun. Now, we kind of graduated. We have what's called an agitator, and it'll actually milk, it'll stir everything. I got it in there. Stir everything while it's running. We don't have to stir it the whole time. We used to have to stir it with that spoon up there. Can
Oh
you
my
see that
God.
spoon? I'm
Wow.
not doing very good at this, I don't think.
Oh, I see it. Big long spoon. Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh my
I
God.
always tease people that my grandmother's maiden name is Paletta, and in Italian that's supposed to mean something to do with a spoon.
Oh, I love it. That is
So
so cool. Oh
yeah,
my
and then
God.
there's some that we've already piped. And then back here we have our marble table. We do our brittle and toffee out of that. They're small marble tables, but we have two of them. And then back here we have enrobing machines.
Oh wow.
The one here with the cover on it, it's got dark chocolate in it right now. We call this one Clifford because it's the first enrobing machine I got, and it's red. So it's Clifford, like the big red dog. And then we got
Oh,
this second one, which is just a small machine. It's got milk chocolate in it right now. We call that one Cleo because that's Clifford's, girlfriend.
oh,
And then this used to be my office. And when I hired another chocolatier, I have two now, two candy makers besides myself. I actually converted this from my office to another space for her. And here's another. I don't know if you ever really want to do chocolate. This here right here. It's called a Beaver. And if you go out online, you look for something that will help you to do cocoa butter. And cocoa butter is the big thing now to help you temper chocolate. So
hmm.
this machine, it's really, I shouldn't tell you this, but this is really a lizard incubator.
Okay, that's pretty interesting. I'm
Well,
doing chocolate in the lizard incubator.
Well,
Okay.
if you want to go and get one that is made for the chocolate industry, that will be about $1,500 for you to buy, and it's only really small, like a coffee canister. And you melt cocoa butter in that. Now, cocoa butter has to stay at a specific temperature. So an incubator is the perfect. It can be, chicks or whatever. It can be incubator is the
Yeah,
perfect temperature. I can actually set it to what I need to set it to, and it will keep that cocoa butter at that temperature. It's
wow.
really, really, really good for if you're going to do colors, because you can put the colors in there and it'll stay pretty much tempered. As long as you don't over temper something, that chocolate will stay tempered. We
Wow.
also use cocoa butter transfer sheets. This is a smiley face transfer sheet. I did some Oreo cookies with that. That's kind of fun.
Very
This
cool.
is the shells. We make the chocolate shells. This
Fun.
one's going to be Tahitian vanilla. And then I just bought about 6 months ago. I bought a food grade printer, a food printer. It
A
was pretty
food
cheap.
printer.
Yeah, it has like food color in it, and it's edible. It's edible printer. I really haven't gotten very good at it yet because this was our second try. But anyway, we're trying to do these cookies with a friend of mine's name on it. She graduated from Western Washington University this year.
Oh,
And so we're making cookies for her, but we're kind of, I got to tell you, we're not doing very good at that right now. Because, everything you get, that's the one thing that I love about this business is, okay, bye guys. My team is leaving. I'll see you later. I'll turn everything off. Thank you. Yes, I appreciate that. Um, anyway, I don't know what I was saying now. It doesn't matter. Cookies. Oh, that's what I was saying. There's always something new in the chocolate industry. There's
Mhm.
always something new to learn. There's thousands of things that I cannot do. And oh, I really want to do them, but it takes so much time and so much to learn these techniques. I mean, right now, if you're looking at chocolate, one of the big things right now is resin stamps. Resin stamps for chocolate molds. They can say anything you want. They can make a leopard design. They can make
Wow.
hearts. Anything you want. I mean, it's just amazing. So I think that's what keeps me interested. This is the first business that, first thing I've ever done that's kept me interested more than 5 years.
That's amazing.
Typically, yeah, 5 years and out.
Well, it's such a creative outlet. Oh my gosh, we have got a ton of questions rolling, and I'm going to see if I can. Guys, I apologize. I'm trying to keep up with y'all here. By the way, hi to Tanya's grandson Leo, who is
Oh,
he's in touch with his feminine side, and he's hanging out here and talking chocolates with us. And
hi, Leo.
I'm looking to see. Does somebody have a question on Instagram? Okay, I'm just making sure. Um, Oh, that's cute. Jenny wants to know if the chocolate chop was an inspiration for the chocolate chop in Icicle Falls. No,
Oh,
that was a different one. But I in fact somebody said, Mona, I need to do a story and feature Mona's chocolates. So we might have to at least do that. So we need to have to get together and do something at some point and really do something with Mona's chocolates. But let me get to our questions. Debbie wants to know if you can tell her what the big deal is about Dubai chocolate. She
oh,
said
I knew
she's
you were going
seen
to ask
people
me about
talking about
that.
it everywhere. It's really expensive. So what's the deal with that? Do you know?
You know, the deal is it was a TikTok fad. And basically all it is it's phyllo dough, the kafki or whatever they call it. It's
Oh, for
really
heaven's
just
sake. Okay.
shredded, baked phyllo dough. So
Oh,
it's got that
interesting.
crispiness to it. And then they're taking pistachios and they're grinding them up in a Robocoup or a Cuisinart,
Yeah, yeah.
into a paste. And then they're putting tahini. Tahini is, for those
Oh
of you
my.
who maybe don't know what tahini is, it's a chickpea concoction that's usually used in a dip.
Okay.
It's tahini. It's a sesame paste. There we go. It's usually used in, it's a sesame paste. I didn't make any Dubai chocolate. I've had one person call me and ask me if we had it. Otherwise, I've not heard anything about it. I have looked up recipes. I did buy all the stuff to do it. And quite bluntly, I just have not done it. And now I've seen, I don't know if anyone else has seen, they're doing the phyllo dough. I'm going to say phyllo dough because I don't really remember. It's called kafki, I think. Anyway,
Okay.
the phyllo dough, they're using it in a raspberry paste right now. I've
Oh,
seen
well, that
that
sounds
out
good.
there in a raspberry
Ooh.
bar. So it's kind of like on the edge of, how you had the cronut, which was the croissant, and the donut. This is kind of like a confection and a pastry
Huh.
because it's got pastry dough in it, which
Interesting.
is interesting.
Well, Alicia said that Trader Joe's just released a Dubai chocolate bar for a very reasonable price. So if you want
There we
Dubai
go.
chocolate, go there. Don't bug Mona because she has other stuff to sell you.
Because I
And
haven't I
Kathy,
haven't made it yet.
oh, you haven't, but yeah, I bet she will at some point. Kathy
Some
wants to
point,
know.
someday, I'll go out and make it. What I found in the chocolate industry and is over the years that most things that sell really well are the tried and true
Yeah,
recipes.
I think you're right.
I've made garlic truffles. I've made
Oh, that sounds
roasted
awful.
tomato truffles,
Oh,
and I've made all kinds of things. And people want to taste it once, and even if they like it, they don't. They're not going to buy it over and over again.
yeah, then they're like, we're done with that. And okay, so some more questions. Kathy wants to know, do you make sugar-free candy?
I do not make sugar-free candy. Sugar-free candy is, in order for it to specifically be sugar-free, it should really be made on separate equipment.
Ah, okay.
And that's the same thing with all, with anything that is an allergen. That is one of the reasons why we don't tell people that, we're allergen free. Because even though I'm very careful about how we make things, we make brittle in the same kettle as we make chocolate fudge. So I tell people that if you're very allergic to something, just walk away, my friend.
Yeah, that's a
Walk
much
away
better idea.
because
You don't want somebody getting sick. That
it's
would be,
nobody's getting sick in my shop.
no,
And
I
but
love
if
that.
you're not, if you're not very, if it's just a slight, you know, typically I have things that don't have milk in them because I make them in cups or I make them, so they never touch milk. So we have, dairy
Okay, so
free,
you do
but
have
not
some
sugar
dairy
free.
free. People want dairy free. And Becky wants to know, do you make any chocolate with spice or heat in it?
I do. I
Anything?
make we call it, the truffle is called the Alicante. It's
Okay.
made after a province in Spain.
Okay.
It has chili and cinnamon. I don't know if we have any in the case right now. I'm going to take a peek. see if I can show you if I have any. Oh, there it is. All right, I'm going to try to show it to you. It's right there. You see it? It says dark Alicante.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. It's just
All
all
right,
I see is
well,
a
I'll
row
tell you
of
what.
really good looking stuff. It all
Yeah,
looks good.
it's uh
Oh my
it's
gosh.
it's pretty good. It's pretty popular. We've had it for a long time. I actually went to when I went to Spain and I saw, let's see if I can show you. Oh, here it is.
Oh, yum.
Yeah, in a
Uh,
little, in its little chocolate paper. Yeah. So there we go. So yes, I do that.
Well, Amanda, in fact, was reading my mind because this was my next question. She wants to know, what is your favorite chocolate? Do you have I mean, how do you, oh wait, I think you said caramel. Didn't you say you like caramel?
Caramel. Yeah, I really like a good turtle, a good piece of caramel. It's really, it's really just satisfies me. If I'm gonna have a truffle, then I'm a purist. I like the dark chocolate truffle. We use chocolate from
Yum.
Ecuador. It's
Wow.
a 71% dark chocolate from Ecuador, and it's got a little berry undernotes, undertones to it. Um, I don't know if anybody knows how that really is calculated, but it's basically whatever the cocoa mass is in the chocolate, that's the percentage. Anything that is over and above, like dark chocolate has sugar in it. It has sometimes it'll have soy lecithin in it. Ours doesn't have soy lecithin in it. But so if it's 71% cocoa mass, that basically means that 29% of it's sugar. Because people say, well, how much sugar is in that? Basically, it's 29%, 29%, yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Now, let's see who else had a question. Lori wants to know, do you make seafoam? Seafoam's not chocolate, is it?
Well, no, it isn't. Let me say this bluntly. We have seafoam and I have made seafoam. Seafoam is a confection that is kind of like toffee and
Huh.
toffee. But when you make it, right here's our seafoam. It's chocolate covered.
Oh, chocolate
Um,
covered seafoam. Okay.
yeah, when you make it, you use baking soda in the recipe, and that baking soda aerates it so that there's like they call it seafoam or honeycomb because it has little holes in it. So when it's cracked open, it looks like it's seafoam or on the the water the white foam that has all those little
Um,
holes. And then I
okay.
don't know if any of you are from Canada, but there's another one. It's lavender. What's it called? It's like that. I don't know if you're not familiar with seafoam, you probably won't.
Yeah, I
It's
never heard of
that's
it.
another seafoam, and it's a
Interesting.
very popular on I'd say on the East Coast. Just like chips, people who from the East Coast they want milk chocolate potato chips, but they don't sell very well here. But seafoam is it's tried and true. It's been around for a long time, and
Okay.
people love it. We sell a lot of it. I have made it. I don't make what we bring in now. It's not cost effective to make it.
Okay.
It's just we can't make it in a big enough batch.
Well, I mean, and you can't make every single candy ever done in the world. I mean, you do have to kind of say, here are going to be our specialties. And you have a lot because I have already been poking around the website drooling. Somebody
Yeah.
else wants to know, this is kind of a fun question. Who asked that? Oh, Jen O'Brien wants to know, when you're on vacation, do you ever visit other chocolate shops?
Oh, of course. Why wouldn't I? I have chocolate shops, bakeries, anything that has to do with confection, ice cream.
Oh,
Um, I find it very interesting to be in some chocolate shops because you'll walk in and, you're not allowed to take pictures, which I find that kind of really interesting. Some chocolate shops are very focused in on just a few things, like a few truffles. And I look at that shop and I say, how do you make money? In my mind, I'm saying, how do you make any money? How do you stay open? Because you just can't. I don't know. Maybe I don't see them long in the distance, or maybe they do a lot of wholesale. I don't know, but I love chocolate shops. I love the way they do barks in other countries and the way that, oh, I just love it.
how
Can't get enough of it.
I love that. I love that. Let's see here. I'm trying to check, make sure I have all my questions. Oh, somebody else want to know. I think we asked that your personal favorite kind of chocolates. Um, okay, I want to know what advice would you give for somebody who's makes. I mean, I think Alicia said, "Oh, I always wanted to do like a cupcake shop," and of course, there's only so many hours in the day. But do you have any advice for somebody who's thinking of starting her own business? What bit of advice might you have for somebody who's
Okay.
doing that?
Well, first thing I would say is there are two kinds of people. One love the idea of owning their own business, and the other loves owning a business. You have to
Mm.
love owning a business, and you can't just love making cupcakes. You have to love all parts of the business. Um, because I've done more in this shop than I've ever done. I need to be mechanic to fix the equipment. I need to be the bookkeeper to keep all the daily sales and pay all the taxes. I need to be the marketing person who monitors all the social media. So you need to have, if you're not going to do it, then you need to have somebody with you, a partner that's going to be able to do that for you. Unless
Yeah.
you have a lot of money. And then if you have a lot of money, you just pay for that,
Well,
you know?
well, there you go. But
Yeah, but
that's
most
interesting.
people don't have a lot of money. But I think if you, when people come in here and ask, oh, I love this, I'd really like to do it. I always tell them they can do it. You can do it. If you want to do it and you want to do it bad enough, you can figure it out. Um, when I went, there's a lot of people to help you do business too. There's the SBDC, Small Business, da 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 da. Anyway, and they'll meet with you and they'll tell you how to do a business plan. They'll help you to, to show you how to ask for finances. I didn't have anybody who gave me finances. I basically started with nothing. I worked 8 years in the business without paying me.
Wow.
So 8 years, and we are now, for a shop to be open, we're in our 19th year here in Langley. And I have been successful. In 2014, I bought the building that we're in.
That's smart.
And in 2021, no, three, not very long ago, I bought the building that's next to us, which is two other businesses and an apartment. But that's part of my exit strategy, and that's part of my retirement strategy is
Smart.
is owning a building because am I ever going to make $1 million at what I'm doing just now? No, I'm not. If you have, I had big dreams at the beginning. My son used to tease me, my youngest son. He used to, wring his hands and he'd make a little scrunchy face and he'd say, "This is you, Mom, up in the office watching everybody just make candy and all the trucks are leaving the warehouse and they're all going all over the country." And of course, of course, I said, "Oh, yeah, I can do that." It's a lot of work. It's very very challenging to jump from a small business to a big business or
Yeah.
to even a big small business.
How many hours would you say you put in a day?
Well, now I would say that I've been very lucky. I have a great staff, and so I'm not putting as many in as I used to. But in the beginning and even in the middle, probably even last year, I was putting 60 to 70 hours a week.
Wow, wow. So you really have to. I remember saying, because I had a singing telegram company, and I tell you, Valentine's Day, everybody's going out with their sweetie. I'm driving all over Seattle singing to people, And I would say when you own a business, you don't really own the business owns you. So I mean, you have to be that dedicated time wise. But
Well,
boy, that's a lot of hours to be putting in. But it's a fabulous shop. I mean, it really is.
thank you.
So I'm just a couple more things in. I want to go over again. Guys, for those of you who came in late, and I'm glad you joined us, you'll be able to watch this after the fact for a while on Facebook. Facebook is not keeping reels for very long anymore. But if you want to watch, you can also go over to my YouTube channel and you'll be able to see the whole thing there. And again, thank you. It looks like we did not freeze. I can't really see the screen for our Instagram video, so I'm hoping we didn't freeze over there. Thank you for everybody who's joined us on Insta. But let's go one more time with the types of fudge you have, because again, those of you who come live and are commenting, you all get your names put in to win something. So what are your finds? If I pick you, you gotta be prepared to tell me what kind of chocolate you want, because otherwise you're not gonna, I'm just gonna choose for you.
All right. Well, we have a panucci fudge. For those of you who don't know really what that is, it's a brown sugar and white chocolate fudge. It is on the sweet side. It kind of it's kind of caramely, but kind of not. It's a little bit different. A lot of people like it. It's also kind of an East Coast thing, but we sell a lot of it. We have a dark chocolate fudge, and that's one that's probably the most popular, either with nuts, walnuts, or without. It's made with our Ecuador chocolate. So it's made with still the same really good chocolate that we have. We make everything here with. The milk chocolate fudge is made with the Venezuelan milk chocolate, and that's what makes it a milk chocolate fudge. I will say that just because it's dark fudge doesn't mean that it doesn't have milk in it, because all fudge has heavy whipping cream in it. We
Yeah.
have peanut butter fudge. And if somebody really can't have, can't do without the chocolate peanut butter thing, I'll do a 4-ounce peanut butter and a 4-ounce dark chocolate, and you can smash that baby together.
Wow, I love that. So I'm typing and somebody wants to know. So Mona, let's give people some information where they can find you. I'm typing this in sweetmonas.com is your website, right?
That is exactly right. If you want to come visit me, I'm on beautiful Whidbey Island. I'm actually in Langley, Washington at 221 2nd Street. Or you can call me, 360-221-2728. And if you have any questions or need anything, or you can order online. We do ship everywhere in the continental United States. Be mindful that we're coming into, summer. So I do still ship during the summer, but it has to be shipped with ice, and I ship everything priority during the summer, so you can get it, within 2 to 3 days typically. Um, you can also find us at www.sweetmonas.com, and
Okay.
we're on Instagram, we're on
And
Facebook,
Mona, give me the phone number. It was 360-221. What's the rest?
2728.
2728. So 360-221-2728.
That's
If somebody
correct.
wants to give a holler. And guys, I mean, I love the idea of women supporting women. And of course, you guys, everybody out there, you're always so supportive of authors. And I think it's really when we can support women in business, I think it's such a fun thing we can do to help each other. Oh, that was one more thing. And then I promise I'm going to let you. I could keep Mona here for hours. I'm not going to do that to her. But Laura had said she thought that at one point Seattle Chocolates was owned by guys. Do you know if that's true? And then they
Um,
took over, or what's the deal with that? Do you know?
well, I would say that without making an inaccurate statement, Seattle Chocolate was owned by a husband and wife team,
Okay.
and the that we'll just say that husband and wife moved on to separate endeavors.
Okay. That's very
And
diplomatic. Okay.
I'm
So,
pretty sure that at that point it became totally woman owned. I
okay.
mean,
So the chicks
let's
are
be
in charge.
blunt. At in the beginning, Tony and I owned the chocolate shop together, and really after several years, decided that we would be the business would be better served, and our personal life would be better served if I was completely woman owned.
I think sometimes it's very hard. Even, I mean, and Gerhard is awesome. He helps me with all this stuff in my business. But I mean, I think there are times when it can be a little stressful when you're trying to figure something out or whatever. And I think sometimes it's not a bad idea for your relationship to have just a little bit of distance. Oh, Kathleen, you are definitely late, but do hop on over to my channel on YouTube, and you'll be able to see the whole thing pretty soon. And also, it'll still be playing here on Facebook for a while, so you'll be able to catch up because you don't want to miss out on that. Becky says the phone kept shifting before I finished my statement. So the phone number again, 360-221.
One,
What's
two,
the rest?
seven, two, eight.
Okay, one more time for those in the back. Give it one more time.
360-221-2728.
So there you have it, folks. So I hope you've enjoyed a lot talking. I know I have. Mona is just so lovely. And I was so excited when she said she was open to doing this because I thought, how fun to get to talk to a chocolatier. So guys, if you are interested in ordering some candy, I hope you will be open to giving Mona a try and giving her some business. And Mona, it's been delightful having you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Well, Sheila, I just want to thank you. I really appreciate this opportunity to talk to the people that you get to talk to all the time. And I hope that everyone who's listening, that they could come and visit. We love it when we have visitors here on Whidbey Island, and you don't have to buy anything. You can just come in and say, hey, I want to talk to Mona.
Oh yeah, and Whidbey Island is also, like I said, I'm planning it for the new year. I've got some friends. We're already talking about a girlfriend trip because it's been ages since I've been to Whidbey. So I'll hope to be seeing you in the next few months. And thank you again. And guys, I'm going to say bye to all of you. And again, I'll have a post here pretty soon and let you all know who happened to be the lucky winner of some fudge from, wasn't that sweet of Mona? Oh my gosh, from Mona. And thanks for joining us. Next week is Father's Day, so we won't be doing a chat, but we'll be doing more after that. So be sure you keep an eye peeled, okay?